Welcome to Folktale Flame. Here we share real-life stories that teach meaningful lessons. My husband's business trip ended our marriage. He said he was going for work. I believed him. Until I found out what he really went for. My name is Clara, and I thought I had the perfect marriage. I met my husband, David, at a friend's wedding. He was tall, confident, and had a voice that made you stop and listen. He worked in a big company as a regional sales manager. I worked in a small boutique in town. We were different in many ways, but we clicked instantly. 6 months after we met, David proposed. A year later, we were married. Our first years were beautiful. We laughed a lot. We went on small trips. He would bring me breakfast in bed on Sundays. I trusted him completely. The first trip. 2 years into our marriage, David got an offer to attend a 3-week training program abroad. When he told me, I was happy for him. "Go and make us proud," I said, hugging him. He promised to call every day. And he did. The first week, he called in the mornings and before sleeping at night. But in the second week, the calls became shorter. Sometimes he would only text. When I asked if everything was okay, he said, "Yes, baby. Just very busy." Change. When David returned, something about him was different. He was quieter. He seemed distracted. At night, he would stay up late, scrolling through his phone. When I asked what was wrong, he smiled and said, "Nothing, just tired from the trip." I believed him. But soon, he started going on more business trips. Sometimes twice in 1 month. The first sign. One evening, David left his phone on the table while taking a shower. Buzz. A message appeared on the screen. "I miss you already, love." My stomach tightened. I wanted to believe it was nothing, maybe a relative or a friend joking. When I asked him later, he laughed. "Clara, it's just a work colleague being playful. Don't overthink." I wanted to trust him, so I let it go. The big trip. One morning, David told me he had another important trip. 2 weeks in South Africa. I packed his bags. Kissed him goodbye. 2 days after he left, I was scrolling through social media when I saw something that froze my blood. A friend had posted photos from a resort in Cape Town. In the background of one photo, I saw David, sitting at a table, smiling, with a woman I had never seen before. They looked close. Too close. The truth starts to unfold. I sent the photo to David and asked, "Who is she?" He took hours to reply. When he finally did, he said, "She's just a colleague. Stop being jealous." But my heart knew something wasn't right. That night I couldn't sleep. And I didn't know. The truth I was about to discover would break my marriage forever. Moral lesson 1. When someone's behavior changes suddenly, don't ignore it. Love should be built on honesty, not secrets. Subscribe to Folktale Flame and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. The suspicion grows. After seeing that photo of David with the mystery woman, I couldn't shake off my doubts. Every time I called him during that trip, I could hear laughter and music in the background. He always claimed he was at team dinners. I decided to keep quiet and collect my own evidence. The message that broke me. 3 days before David was supposed to return, I got a message from an unknown number on WhatsApp. It was a woman. Her message was short. "You don't know me, but I think you should know the truth about your husband." She sent me a photo, David and her kissing on a beach. My hands shook. I asked, "Who are you?" She replied, "My name is Lisa. I've been dating David for a year." He told me he was divorced. Confrontation. When David came home, I was waiting. I showed him the messages. First, he denied everything. But when I showed him the photo of them kissing, he went silent. Finally, he said, "Clara, I didn't mean for you to find out this way." Find out what? He confessed that during his first business trip, he had met Lisa. They started talking. One thing led to another, and soon she became more than a friend. He admitted he had been lying to both of us, telling me he was on business trips while telling her he was a free man. End of us. I cried for days. My trust was shattered. Friends told me to forgive him. But I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life wondering where he really was each time he left the house. 3 weeks later, I filed for divorce. The aftermath. It wasn't easy. The nights were long and lonely. But slowly I started to heal. I threw myself into my work. I reconnected with friends. I learned to love my own company. One day, I looked in the mirror and realized I was smiling again. A real smile. The moral: if someone truly values you, they won't risk losing you for temporary excitement. And if you catch them lying once, believe it. It's a warning sign, not a small mistake. If you've ever been lied to in love, remember this. You're not losing them, they're losing you. Share this story to remind someone not to ignore the warning signs. And subscribe to Folktale Flame for more real-life stories that can change lives.